Claudio Castagnoli has debuted in All Elite Wrestling. He was the mystery man. He was the replacement for Bryan Danielson, who announced on Dynamite that he was unable to compete. He wasn't medically cleared to compete against Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door, but would have a replacement that he very much trusted to go into that place instead. And that man turned out to be kind of, as most people figured, was Cesaro, the former Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. Cesaro had left WWE in February. His contract had come to an end, and he just didn't re-sign, and then it kind of went quiet for a little bit. There was always rumors that he might be going towards AEW. There was a big fan rumor thing that he was a cameraman at ringside in a mask, which they actually made a reference to. Claudio, during his entrance, grabbed that camera and was pointing to him, being like, look, we're different guys, which was very, very funny. But yeah, it was really, really cool to see Claudio in AEW. He felt so different to how he was presented in WWE. This is kind of the first time we're seeing Claudio wrestle outside of the WWE four walls in over a decade. So kind of the same way with Danielson, it's kind of fun to see what that looks like and what that really, really means. And he had a absolutely terrific match with Zack Sabre Jr., as you would imagine. Boom, straight out the gate with the European uppercut and the neutralizer for an incredible near fall. Very much designed so he could debut his new finish. And at the end of the show, he does this double underhook, tuck, powerbomb thing, which was very, very cool. But it was an incredible match. Absolutely loved it. And it just it capped off. I didn't cap off. Kind of did in a way, actually. Capped off what was on course to be show of the year. Every single match, bar the AEW women's match, which just felt very oddly out of place on this AEW versus New Japan show. Really good match between Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, but where the whole show felt like this is all killer, no filler, that match was filler. Which is a real shame, actually, because it was a really good match. It just felt oddly out of place. But other than that, every match was an absolute banger. Even matches that you didn't think were going to be bangers ended up being bangers. Like Eddie Kingston with Shota Umino and Wheeler Yuta versus Minoru Suzuki, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho was an insanely fun six-man tag. And you want to talk about insanely fun six-man tags? Bullet Club versus the Dudes with Attitudes? Holy heckins, that match was an insane amount of fun. I'm just kind of looking down the list now, being like, yeah, that match ruled. Yeah, that match ruled. FTR captured not only they retained, excuse me, my voice is starting to go a little bit here. They retained their Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and also captured the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions from the Great O-Khan and Jeff Cobb of United Empire in a three-way match that also included Roppongi Vice, which was a match that we all got really worked by, because early on in the match, Dax Harwood was taken to the back with an injury, and we all were like, man, that sucks, because we were really pulling for FTR to win this, particularly for we all love Dax as much as we love Cash. And it was only after a little while we started to be like, all right, we're kind of making reference to on commentary here. I think this is probably an angle. And as it turns out, it was. And it was excellent. I cannot say enough good things about the match. Looking here, it went 16 minutes. Man, that opening six-man went nearly 20 minutes. But yeah, it was 60 minutes, and it was awesome. So FTR are now the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. They're the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and they are the AAA Tag Team Champions. You've got to think that their next goal is going to be going up against the Bucks, and we're probably going to get Bucks FTR 3 at All Out, which, oh man, if it's a 2 out of 3 falls match, I think it'd be amazing. But yeah, FTR, the Bucks returned the favor for the short title reign that FTR had back during the pandemic era. So FTR win those belts there and are World Tag Team Champions in 4 different promotions, which is an insane thing to do, and well worthy as well, a well earned honor that is, because they were so good in this match. Also winning a belt, I think a surprise to some people, was PAC winning the All Atlantic World Championship. Is it just the World? Okay, for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. There's no world in there, I do apologize. In a 4-way match that was with him, Miro, Malachi Black, and Clark Connors. Clark Connors was a sub-in for Tomohiro Ishii, who was announced as an injury. Sorry, an injury for Forbidden Door? Please, to pull the other one. Tell me another yarn. No, he was also injured. Hiromu Takahashi, by the way, was supposed to be part of the Bullet Club Dudes with Attitudes match, but was taken out of that because he came down with a fever yesterday, and so he was unable to compete. They turned into a six-man tag instead. It's like a cursed pay-per-view, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. But yeah, Pac won the All-Atlantic Championship in a fantastic four-way with Clark Connors, Miro, and Malachi Black. It looked like it was set up for Miro to win, but Malachi Black missed him in the face, and Black ended up locking the Brutalizer in on Clark Connors for the win. I think the speculation you could probably say is that they gave the win to Pac because AEW is the #1 wrestling show here in the United Kingdom. And the reason for that is because it's on ITV, which is a free-to-air channel that everyone has access to. So it gets far more viewers here than WWE does because WWE is behind a paywall. It's behind the BT Sport paywall, so you got to pay extra on top of your license fee money to get BT Sport, and then you get WWE with that. But AEW, as long as you pay your license fee money, you get AEW for free. So it's easily more watched. So I guess like putting it on the Brit is kind of a good way to maybe expand here into that UK market. So I get it from that aspect. We also had Thunder Rosa retained the AEW Women's Championship in a match against Toni Storm, which, as I said, was good, but kind of felt a little bit out of place. And Will Ospreay defeated Orange Cassidy for to retain his IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, which featured at the end a cameo by Shibata, which was, I mean, there's already a Twitter account called Tempest Reaction, Tempest Head Explode, I think it's called, and yeah, Tempest head exploded when he saw Shibata come out because I don't think anyone saw the Shibata cameo coming out here. We've got Claudio Castagnoli beating Zack Sabre Jr. in a fabulous near 20-minute match. And the main two matches, I think, are going to be the matches that maybe bring people's opinion down onto this, because when Claudio pinned Zack, people were on track to say that this is show of the year, and it was on track to be show of the year. That's what all the live chats were saying, that this is show of the year. 11 out of 10. Can't wait for Ollie Davis to give it 75%. All of that good stuff, right? And then the Fatal 4-Way match with Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Adam Cole, baby, was absolutely awesome. I kept saying during the live reactions, this feels like it should be the main event because the crowd reactions for it was so, particularly for Okada. The crowd was so hot for Okada. He felt like a real star in all of this. And unfortunately, the match had, as JR called it on commentary, an anticlimactic finish. What happened was Okada went to hit the Rainmaker on Adam Cole. Cole seemingly looks like he fell to his knees and hurt his arm in the process. Jay White slid in, hit the Blade Runner on Okada, and then pinned Cole. And it felt like a botched ending because Cole didn't have a move done to him. He ducked the move. And so we all thought it was a botched finish. We thought that Cole meant to hit with the Rainmaker. They blew the spot. They should have done a different spot, this and the other. But it actually looks to be worse than that. It looks like Cole may have actually hurt himself and is now possibly injured again. They did say on commentary that he left under his own weight, so that is a very, very positive sign, but kind of the early indications are that that's not looking good for Adam Cole, which really sucks. And like that finish kind of took the wind out the sails for this crowd, and then it took them quite a while to get into the main event of the show, which was Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the AEW, the interim AEW World Championship, which was a really, really good main event, a cracking main event actually, and like an awesome match between Jon Moxley and Tanahashi. They really, really went to war with each other, but the finish of the Fatal 4-Way had taken the crowd down, and there was a moment kind of early in the match where a fan was getting ejected from the crowd, and he started a fight with security, so the crowd kind of turned their attention to him, so that kind of took people out of the match a little bit. And I don't think that the crowd really got back into the show the way they were with Claudio versus Zack or Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. So that's a real shame for kind of the main event. And I think that those two matches are going to bring people's thoughts and feelings down on this show, which I totally get. For me, I think this is still potentially show of the year. I thought it was a fabulous show, bar those two things. Also, I don't think that helps is that the final angle of the show, yeah, the show had an angle, didn't need one, but it had one, was a brawl between the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club, because they've got Blood and Guts on Dynamite this Wednesday, and the crowd were not into this brawl at all. And why would they be? We had a brawl on Dynamite, we had a brawl on Rampage, and we had a brawl here. And it was the same brawl on each of those shows. This didn't work. Absolutely, categorically did not work. It was a very bad ending to the show. And I think that the crowd kind of responded to that in kind. Poor old Tanahashi just had to lay there because he's not involved in the Blood and Guts match. And it kind of took away, this was supposed to be this AEW New Japan co-pro thing, and in the end it felt like it was just an episode of Dynamite. And that's a real shame. But yeah, headline stuff out of this is that Claudio Castagnoli is part of All Elite Wrestling, so that's very, very exciting. And he's going to be in that Blood and Guts match. And it feels like that's why they did the angle, because they wanted to have Claudio come out again and kind of lay waste to people. But I don't know, I already saw that pop earlier in the night. Anywho, Claudio is All Elite, and that's very, very exciting. He's also now part of the Blackpool Combat Club. That's also very, very exciting. What did you think of the show? Please let us know in the comments down below. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Give this video a little thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back later today with Ollie Davis's edited review of Blood and Guts, and Andy Datson will have a news kind of covering all of the fallout from Forbidden Door as well. I say Blood and Guts now. Ollie Davis will be reviewing Forbidden Door, and Andy Datson will be doing a news episode covering only the news that covers the fallout of Forbidden Door. It's currently 5 a.m. I'm quite tired, and you can hear my voice quite gravelly. And over on the WrestleTalk podcast channel, Pete and Tempest will be doing a review of Forbidden Door on the WrestleTalk podcast channel. Now you may be thinking, wow, well, Tempest always does shows with Pete. What's so special about that? Tempest has moved to the UK, everyone. Tempest was here for our live reactions. He was sat right next to me because he is now officially here in the United Kingdom. He has left Canada and he has moved here, and we're very, very excited to have him here. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being with terrible friends in Pete. Thank you all so much for watching. Please click the videos that have appeared on screen now to catch up with other WrestleTalk videos. Love you, Pete. Bye, everyone.